Thank you for joining me today. This is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. I want to share with you today a little bit about how we have to understand where people interact with you at, right? You ever talk to somebody and my favorite thing that I've always done, I don't remember when I didn't do it. And that's being able to speak to someone where they are, right? Not where they're trying to make you think they're at, but where exactly they are when they're talking to you. That's why I always say I listen to what they're not telling me, not what they're saying. Because people say what they think you want to hear. But you need to listen to the underlining because there's some underlining going on, right? And so when someone is talking to me, whether it is in a positive or a negative way, when they're talking, I'm listening to what they're not saying, because what they're not saying is their subconscious, right? Your conscience is what's talking to you. It's what's speaking. That's that conscience. But the subconscious is the real deal, because that's your spirit. And one thing about your spirit, honey, your spirit can't lie. Your conscience will, right? It's when someone asks you a question, you know how you hesitate to answer the question because let me be careful how I answer this question because it could lead to this, that, the other. See, now your conscience is thinking of how to answer this question the proper way. That's not going to give you an off result. Or you want to get an off result, so you answer it a certain ways to make sure you cause that kind of rift, right? But when you're talking to people, just pull yourself in. Just pull yourself in when you're talking to somebody that's relevant. Let me make sure I add that in there. That's relevant. Because everybody that's having a conversation with you is not relevant. That don't mean they're not important. But it's nonsense what they're talking about. They're just taking up time. Right? So I'm talking about these relevant conversations that you're having with someone, wherever it is, whoever it is. Understand, if you have not, most of you probably already done this, so I'm not talking to anybody that have not. I'm talking to some people who are trying to learn this, okay? If it's not you, you just help me push this out. Because, see, I can receive your energy while I'm talking about this. But to those of you who have not, I'm going to teach you something today. I'm going to teach you how to listen to a person on the inside. I want you to listen to their spirit talk and not their lips talking, right? Because most people, including you, right, know how to speak what you want somebody to hear, right? When you were younger, some of y'all still are, but let me say, when I was younger, right? I want to hear somebody say, I'm in a relationship. I want somebody to tell me, I love you, right? And so the moment they say, I love you, you get goosebumps, you get giggles, hee hee, ha ha ha, right? But their words was not matching their action. Because whatever you say should be consistent with what you do. So if you're not doing what you're saying, then 9 times out of 10, what you have said is not in line with your spirit, which is your subconscious. Okay? So when people are talking to you, I have this thing, I like to look people in the eyes when they're talking to me. And if they're talking to me across the phone and they're talking, I'm listening to them talk, but I'm also listening to them talk. So I'm listening to their spirit talk to me, their subconscious. Because I want to know what they're saying to me is true. Or is there underlining to what they're saying? And when I'm gathered in any room, in any sector in my life, any, family, friends, or foes, I'm paying attention to what their subconscious is telling me, not their conscious. Because most people have practice on how to talk to you and say what they think you want to hear. So they're going to talk to you on the level in which they think you need to hear it. But I don't, I'm beyond that, honey. I'm beyond that. Now, if you want to entertain me with that, go for it. But while you're entertaining me, I'm listening to your subconscious, or as you say, your spirit. And I was sharing just earlier today how there are people in my life and people who have been in my life that have a love-hate relationship with me. And sometimes they're not even aware of it, but I am. And you know people like that too. Or sometimes you might be in one. You know, you love them and you hate them, right? And you know, there's a song years back, it's a thin line between love and hate. Why is there a thin line between love and hate? Why? Because sometimes your conscience can love somebody, but your subconscious hates them. Or vice versa. Sometimes your conscious can hate somebody, but your subconscious really loves them. You know, that love-hate. And so I know of people who are in my life who genuinely think they love me. They tell me that all day long, how much they love me. I love you, sis. I love you, girl. I love you, whoever, whatever, right? They tell me they love me. And in their mind, they think they do. And I accept what they just said. But I know that their love is tainted because their subconscious can't stand me. Their subconscious don't wish no goodwill for me. And if they could destroy me, they would do. Because their subconscious don't give a hill of beans about me. But their conscious think it's on the front line. I love you. Because see, if you love me like you say you love me, then you would be doing what love does. Think about it, y'all. When you love somebody, love does not go out to hurt a person, to deceive a person, to destroy a person, to take a person down, to go behind that person and try to mash them every chance you get. How can I set you up for a fall? You know, love is not competitive either. You don't have to compete with somebody when you love them. Why I need to compete with you when I love you? You know, I may enjoy the things that you do. I might even like your style of ways that that you do. You know, I like to see how you cook. I like how you dazzle. But there's nothing ill intent that I want to be you in any sense of the word at all. There's not a woman walking, talking, or dead that I choose to be in competition with, to compete with, in any sense of the word. And I'm telling you, I know by far there are the most gorgeous women out there, beautiful women that could, oh my grace, they are put together, honey, like handmade cookies. But I still don't have a desire to be them. And I don't sit around trying to figure out how to envy them or to talk about them or put them down, because they are just who they are. Beautiful, gorgeous women, right? I got my own beauty going on. You know, I can't compete with theirs, but I got my own. I'm happy. You should be too, right? That you have to understand there may be people in your life, and I'm more than sure there is, somebody or somebodies in your life that is attached to you in some sort of way. And their attachment to you, you think it is because they love you or it's based on love, and it isn't. They are attached to you to destroy you, to tear you down, and to cause you your demise. That's their purpose. Now, they may look like the angel that's coming to save your life, but in essence, they're not. You know, there's a scripture somewhere in the Bible, sometimes what is it, wolves in sheep's clothing. You know, you got people in your life who want to attach themselves to you. They want to be close to you. And they follow you. And they're around you. They want to spend time with you. Only so they could take your place if given an opportunity. You know? And they think it's because of love. But in their heart of hearts, which is that subconscious, honey, everything about it is they don't like nothing about you. You know, and woe is the day when you find out that the person you thought was loving on you had no intention to love you, but their whole intentions was to take your place, destroy you, come against you, or set you up. How about that? You know, and I've learned them people too. You know, call me all kinds of beautiful names. Hey, mom. Hey, sugar. Hey, sweetheart. Whatever. Right? And the whole time, they have this secret hate that they have against me, or you. That if given an opportunity, they will set you up. And many have tried. Right? Oh, but my guides, honey, the angels, they won't let you get me. Right? Because there's a greater force around me than you think you have. That's how you need to be. You need to understand every morning when you rise up out of your bed, every day, every time you rise up, you need to rise up with some intentions of protection over your life, over your mind, your spirit, your purpose, your steps. Wherever I go today, you go before me and you make every crooked road, everything that's set up to tear me down, you make it straight, that I can walk in it and be successful. That I can go in any place and great things will happen. That I will walk into a store and there'll be a sale just for me. That I'll be able to go into a place and what was the cost before I got there, it'll be a different cost when I get there because it was designed for me to be there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? I'm going to try to slow down my talking. I'm getting excited. When the people are talking to you, make sure what they are saying to you, listen with your heart and pay attention to their eyes. Because the eyes truly are the window to the soul. Honey, even the best liars get caught. I'm a lie detector. I'm a lie detector. And I will look at you while you're talking and know you hippity lying. And I won't bat my eyes. And I'm really, oh, wow. And I like I'm going along with everything you just said. And I know everything you just said was a big, fat lie. But look, if it made you feel better to think you have convinced me of that lie, go for what you know. But I am a lie detector. A lot of people don't believe that, but honey, I'm telling you, you can't get past it. I don't need the machine, right? I just need to be connected, and you too. Don't go off emotions. See, when you get emotionally attached to a lot of stuff, a lot of times you're gonna always find yourself going halfway backwards because you got a whole lot of emotions attached to it. Get spiritually attached. Get caught up in your spirit. Know that you're in tune with your spirit. Okay? You're in tune with it. So that when anybody comes in your presence, when anybody walks by you, you can pick them up. You can pick them up and you will know if they're for your good or your bad. I'm telling you. Go into a store. I can walk into a store and I know I'm talking to, now I'm giving out this today, I'm giving this out because somebody else knows what I'm talking about. I can walk into a store packed and I can pick up people. I can pick them up. Right? Walking past them. I ain't gonna get deep in that because then some of y'all, I ain't getting deep. But I'm just saying, when you're in tune, and first, before you can get in tune with what's going on outside of you, you must be in tune with who you are inside. That's why you must always go in every single day and do your inner healing. Heal thyself. Get yourself healed. You know, I ain't talking about, that stuff that everybody's putting this natural stuff. I'm talking about spiritually. Heal yourself. Make sure your mind is clear. It's clear, honey. Your mind is clear. You ain't got a whole lot of stuff going through your mind. Your mind is clear that you can see, hear, and think on a spiritual level. Right? And then when you can do that, anybody who gets in your presence, anybody starts talking to you, you can read them. You can read them like a book and turn a page on them real quick. because you know exactly where they get ready to go. So you can turn the page before they get to it. Because you're able to do that. Because you are connected that way. A lot of times people tell you, you don't use all that you have. And it's the truth. You are connected. You got stuff going on in you that you don't even know. But when you understand that you got it, use that. Use that. This is to protect you. This is to, keep you in a sane place. This is to make sure that you don't get caught up in a whole lot of mess and somebody done got you set up for a pitfall. Somebody's got you messed up somewhere along the line because you're not paying attention to what's going on around you. I know people who declare that they love me. They tell me that all the time, I love you, I love you, I love you. Family, friends, and folks. And I know they want to. And I know they believe they do. But I also know there's a part of them, which is that subconscious. That's a dangerous thing. When your subconscious, your spirit, which will override you, can't stand it. Right? And so because I know that, you will never have an opportunity to be close enough to me, because I know secretly in your spirit, ain't no love there. Ain't no love there. Right? And when you know that, then you know how to move and guide yourself around people. I had people talking to me every single day. And when they're talking to me, I look them right in their face when they're talking. And they be saying, blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying, oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Sure, I understand exactly what you just said. Sure do. Okay, so we know we're going to do awesome. Okay, sure. And when they walk away, honey, I do like this. Whew, that's a bunch of mess. That was a bunch of mess. Look. A lying tongue. That's all it was, a lying tongue. It was just a line, right? And thinking that I brought that BS. Okay. That'd be nice. They thought I brought it. I ain't about that. I knew exactly where you was coming from. And I know your reason why you brought it that way. See, I know that the reason why you had to come that way, because you already know if you came that way, I already caught you, right? So you're going to come another way, hoping that you don't, trip me up. But you can't trip up the spirit. You can trip up this now. Because see, if you want to believe something, when you get your emotions right, you want to believe somebody's doing this, because you're emotionally attached to it. You believe it, even though they say, something told me. Stop saying something told you, and know that's your guide. That's your intuition. That's your spirit. That is your subconscious, which will lead and guide you if you pay attention to it. It was no something. That's what you need to pay attention to. That something is what you need to pay attention to. Because while they were talking, something told you they were lying. Something told you it was a setup. Something told you that they was going to do this. Honey, you were born this way. You were born with the knowledge and the abilities to see and to know. You were born that way. You just choose not to tap into it. And then when it taps at you, you use it when it's convenient and you bounce back out of it, right? But you need to know, why would you walk into a place that was set up to destroy you when you have a big flashlight that will let you see down the road that you don't need to go on that road? And your flashlight, that's why I said let your light so shine, your light is your subconscious, which is your spirit. Let your spirit lead you. Okay? And if your spirit tells you, let it go, I don't care what they say. You need to let it go. Follow your spirit. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong when you're following your spirit. But you got to have your mind clear. That clarity. Everything needs to be centered. That's why, every day, pulling in, just pulling in, making sure your spirit is right. Pushing out all that negativity. Stuff that people are trying to send your way. That I got people they get ready to get me started. I got people who try to manifest me all the time. Men trying to manifest me. They're trying to get me in their life. They're trying to manifest me. Let me have her. I'm praying. Let me have her. I always say, You can't manifest me. I'm protected. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. You know, and they're doing the same thing to you. There are people trying to manifest you. They're trying to pray you into their life. They're trying to get you to bring you into where they want you to be. I mean, if they're praying on you, you know, because they're trying to get you to do something that you would not normally have done. And if you ain't sharp and tuned in, you know, you'll go that way. And don't understand how you got caught up with, you know, zero. What made you decide to go this way? It's because somebody was pulling on your spirit. And it kept pulling and pulling. And instead of you tuning in, you know, you gave in. That's why you got to keep your mind clear every day. Keep it clear. Because somebing, if, Lord have mercy, I can't do this all day. If you are a good man, if you are a good woman, somebody wants you. Somebody's want you. Now, it doesn't mean they're willing to be good to keep you. It doesn't mean they're willing to be good to have you. But they want the good thing. Right? They want you because you have the ability to do things that's going to, what? Enhance their life. You are an asset. And an asset is always wanted. A liability ain't needed by nothing but an insurance company. Ain't nobody want no liability but an insurance company. That's what I always say, right? Well, no liabilities. You know what I mean? You need to be an asset. Tell me about your assets, right? You know, what you going to bring. You got to have an asset now. You know, that's, when I hire people for jobs, I want to know about your assets. I don't need to hear about your liabilities, your weaknesses. I know this will come along with you, but let's talk about them assets. What are you going to bring to the company? How are you going to enhance the company? You know, this is what I need to know, your assets. And so when people look at you, they should see that you're an asset, not a liability now. You know, because you're a liability now. Other liabilities looking for you. But an asset don't look for liabilities. Because you're not going to bring nothing to the game. You see what I'm saying? You know? This is true. When you are dealing with people, and you have to make sure that you are in tune. In tune, I'm telling you, people do tune-ups on their cars. Why do you do a tune-up on your car? To make sure your car is driving properly. It's going to save you gas. You know, all those things. Your tune-up, it got everything to do with your car running at its best. It will not run at its best if it needs a tune-up. You know, one of those spark plugs is off. Carburetor, you know, you got fuel injectors now. But you know, back in the day, we had carburetors. You got to clean your carburetor out, whatever you got to do, because you need a tune-up. Right? You need some tuning. People who work on the instruments, you know. My son got to tune up his piano every once in a while. You know, mama, that's tune. You know, I got to tune it up. It's off. You know, whatever he playing, it's got to be tuned up, so it could be ripe. It could be in the right tune. It could be in the right place. Same thing with our spirit. We got to tune ourselves up sometime. We got to make sure we're in tune. We are in the right frequency. We're doing the right things. We're just in alignment. You know, I talk about it all the time about being in alignment, right? Because, and that's the truth. When I go to my chiropractor and they tell me there's a misalignment, you know, you got a distance kind of, you know, whatever, they're trying to get me in alignment so it take away some of that pain. There's that pressure. There's some pressure on my body if I'm not in alignment, right? Well, there's pressure on you if you're not in alignment spiritually. Make sure that you are spiritually in alignment, that you are tuned in to your spirit. We're too caught up with this natural, right? What we see, what we hear, you know, naturally. Forget that. I seen the best things sometime in disguise, because you would have missed it if you wasn't tuned. But when you're in tune, you say, oh, wow, that's something right there. And you go after it. And then when you get done with it, everybody's looking at, oh, where you get that from? Where you get that from? It was sitting right in front of you. You walked past it for years. There it is. Because you saw it. Make sure when people are around you, it's important. There's a scripture that says, know them that labor among. Know them people who's around you. Everybody. Everybody. You know? I got some people around me that I know. You know, I've said this message before. You can go back and listen to it. But I got people around me who I know. I know their purpose and their reason. And there's other people who come around me that I always have a fence around them. I keep a fence. I got my my boundaries already set. There's only so far they ever go with me. And they could be sitting right beside me, sitting right next to me, touching my arm. But I have a spiritual fence around me that they would never come no closer than that. And even though they're close to my proximity, even naturally, spiritually, honey, I got them at far. They're far from me. And they could be right in my presence, right in my face. But honey, they are not that close to me in my spiritual world. I don't allow them to get that close to me. I don't care who they are. I don't care who they are. You know? They only allowed to be so close to me because I know their intent. I see their spirit. I know their subconscious, which is their spirit. And it does not like me. It doesn't care for me. So why would I have it or have them close to me? Because we all know we are spiritual beings, right? We're spiritual beings. We should know that. Number one, you are a spiritual being, right? Living in this host, this body. You know, this host. You know, this is what we walk around in, but we are spiritual beings. So you should always be thinking and moving spiritually first, because that's what you are first, a spirit. But most of the time we are moving naturally. We're being, as I say, earthly, more than we are being spiritual. You know, you are spirit. And when you talk to people, and even though you're talking to them on a natural level, and a lot of times when I'm really into you, I talk to you on spiritual levels because I'm into you. So we're gonna talk spirit. you know, I be talking to you about one thing, but trust me, honey, I'm all in your spirit. I'm all up in there. You think I'm going to do a mind? I'm digging deep. You know, I'm in the crevice of it. Cause you know that's where I am. You know, I'm a spiritual being. I love that spiritual now. Don't take me off course, right? So I say that to you. Whatever you're doing, whoever you're around, when you say something ain't right about that person, and you talk to them, and you know this is my girl. You know, that's your girl. You know, that's your buddy. You and this guy, you know, y'all tight. Whatever. You know, son, daughter, auntie, cousin, grandma, mom, uncle, I don't care. You know, your employer, employee, you know, your church buddy. I don't care who they are. Nobody is exempt. Right? Whoever, if your little inkling tells you something is off, pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. And then move accordingly. Meaning, now that I know something is off, I'm going to deal with you differently. I got to. Because now I got to protect me. Because if something is off, then, and you're in my presence, why? Why are you in my presence when in essence, you don't care for me? So why are you here? Pay attention to that. Then once I know why you're here, right? Then I must know how to move around you, right? Because I ain't taking no flights now. You know, I ain't doing no running. I ain't taking no flights, right? I just move differently. You know, anybody telling you to run, right? I'm just telling you how to move. Pay attention to everything. And I'm only reaching out to this today because it just downloaded in me. And when it downloads in me, then it's urgent for me to make sure I put it out there. And you may not be the one that it was meant to go to, but somebody is. Pay attention to everybody. And I'm not talking about being superstitious, being curious, and, you suspect everything. I'm not talking about that. I'm not trying to put you on no daggone or sci-fi thing, even though one day we're going to talk about sci-fi one day, but it ain't going to be today. But I'm not talking like that. I'm not having you paranoid. I ain't trying to get you paranoid now. We got enough of those folks around here. I ain't trying to get you paranoid because I ain't paranoid. I'm not paranoid by nothing and nobody. I know what I know. I ain't paranoid. I just know. I'm just saying, when people are in your presence and your spirit, tells you they're not telling you the truth, bank on it. Bank on it. And how will you know? Because you're in tune with your spirit. How are you in tune? Because every day when you rise up, you make sure you clear your thoughts. You make sure that when you're doing your praying, your intentions, your affirmations, however way you want to use your words, you make sure you're clearing your way so that everything and everybody who comes in your presence for that day, they will know who they just walked up into. They can call you an oracle, the great one. They can call you mashed potatoes. It don't make a difference to me. But you somebody that when they come in your presence, they know that you ain't for it. don't even cross this little way with a whole lot of mess, because I don't. That's okay. So today, tune up if you haven't, and if you are, pay attention to your spirit, and then pay attention to theirs, because that's where I want you to be. Pay attention to their spirit. Anybody who's in your presence, you pay attention to their spirit. You make sure their spirit is in alignment with their being. What they're saying to you is coming from a good place, because everything's in alignment. That's a good person with a good spirit, right? Not somebody that's trying to trick you, lure you, confuse you, mess you up, because they're not who they're telling you they are when it comes to you. And this is about you. And when you can protect you can protect others. You can't protect other people when you can't protect your own self. Protect you. And I mean protect you means protect your being, your spirit, your powers that be. Protect that. Your heart is your biggest thing, your heart, right? People want your heart. They want your heart. I ain't talking about your natural heart. I'm talking about your spiritual heart. They want that because it's full of love. It has a purpose. It's designed to do so many great things, and people love it. They're attracted to it. They want a part of that, and some people just don't know how to ask you for it. They don't know how to be worthy of it, so they go in another way, right? Some go in that way I told you earlier. They try to manifest you. They try to pull you into their life. Even though they have no good intentions for you, they want to pull you into their life, right? And when I see people doing that to me, and I see them, I said, you're going to stop trying to manifest me. And I don't say it with my mouth, I say it with my spirit, and I talk to their spirit. You're going to stop trying to manifest me, because you can't have me. Period. Because I'm direct like that. Anyway, thank you for your time today. I hope you understood what I said. And I hope it was a help to you. If you own that channel with me. If you're not on that channel, I know what I just said to you is so far-fetched. You start saying, I'm trying to pick it up. So don't worry about it. Don't confuse yourself. Don't get missed. Don't lose sleep on this, because it wasn't for you. But those of you who on that channel with me, pick up what I just put down. Pull that into your download. Download it in. Hold it tight, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. Yes, you're going to need it. You're going to need it through the course of your day. You're going to need it. And then the sharper you get, honey, you're going to be dangerous. Because ain't nobody going to come run up to you trying to lie. Because they know when they try to lie, they start stammering. Because they know you already done picked it up. Ain't it awesome? Thank you so much for your time. Much love to you. Let your light so ever shine. Let your light shine, honey. Be awesome in everything you do. Have a fabulous day. Much love to you.